Hi students, this is Professor Fernandez and an introduction or a welcome to my History 1301 course. This course will consist of 8 weeks. It is online and asynchronous. Asynchronous meaning that there's no set days and times that you have to log in. You can log in whenever it's convenient for yourself. Now I do break up my course into modules, and there are due dates for certain items within the module, so you still need to pay attention to the days and the times of when things are turned in. This video, it'll be a little lengthy, but I want to make sure and explain some of the nuances and intricacies of this course. I actually teach 2 of these courses. One of my sections is fairly new. It was transferred over from another instructor. So I apologize about that for my section that kind of got a little whiplash there. But that being said, when I talk, I'm going to be using 1301-276, although I also have another section 277. So it'll apply to both. They should be identical. They will be identical. So this is your home screen. It'll have a welcome to message on there. It'll have my Zoom office hours. During this Corona times, as I call it, I don't have a physical office. So there's no real place for me to be during certain times. But what we do have is a Zoom office, and I do have a Zoom link in the modules. But I do ask that you email me or message me, and of course you can message using your little inbox here, to let me know that you'd like to meet with me. I'm available Monday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to around 7 o'clock, possibly later, but I do need to confirm that with you. So if you'd like to meet with me, let's say a certain week or a certain day of this week, give me a heads up and give me advance notice. You can't really email me and send me an hour before that time you'd like to meet in the Zoom office. So if you know the next day or the day after that, you'd like to meet at 11:30 a.m., I'll be sure and be in my office at 11:30 a.m. on that day. So I'm at your beck and call for all intents and purposes. What you'll need, you do need 1 textbook. I used to require 2, but I just require 1 textbook. It's Thinking Through the Past right here on your homepage. It actually looks like this, Thinking Through the Past. It's blue. I don't care if you get the physical version or you have a digital copy. It doesn't really make a difference, although it does need to be the 5th edition, to make sure you have the appropriate readings. I'm just going to go through, I haven't opened up the entire course as of this recording, so I'll just go through the first module. And actually the first module is going to be unique to the system or to our course, because it's kind of this first week we're going to talk about what's available to you, policies, procedures, and a breakdown of how this course is done. Here we can see the first module. Here's that office hour link here. So when you've emailed me and I've confirmed a day and a time, before that day or time, you just come here to my Zoom office, click on that link, and I also have I have the verbiage in here, the directions, but you just click on office hours and it'll pull up. I'm not going to do it because I'm actually in Zoom right now. But this is where you would go. Once you have a confirmed appointment from me, confirming that I will be in the office at that day and time, then you can just easily come here and it'll shoot you right into my Zoom office. It'll put you in a waiting room just in case I'm talking with another student, but I will get to you. As long as I have a confirmed appointment time, we're good. All right, the first module we're going to cover is going to be module 1. Goes to reasoning. Now I do want to stress this is an 8-week flex course, so it is a 16-week course condensed into 8 weeks. So it's a little bit more intensive reading-wise and possibly writing for some of you. But I'm going to try and make it as interesting as possible. There is some video involved. I use an app called Flipgrid where you'll do some video in regarding the weekly discussion as opposed to having to write everything out. Okay. Our modules or our weeks are a little unique or a little different. The new module starts on Friday. So the last day of the old module is Thursday. So we work Friday through Thursday. So this first week that you're part of the course is a little shorter, right? It'll be Monday, August 24th through Thursday the 27th. And that would be this first module. So your first week, I'll be very honest, it's not as intensive as the other modules because I'm just basically trying to get you acclimated to this online environment. So here's a video introduction to American History 1301. This is what you're watching right now, right? So you clicked on this. This first module, I give you some information on services and sources available to you as a Northwest Vista student. So you can click on these. I would like you to look at them all. You don't have to memorize these. This is not really part of the academic history portion of this course, but they will help you in the future, maybe in this course or future courses that you may have. Part B, all my modules are broken up into A and B. So I break up the modules into Part A and Part B. Part B is going to be more of the meat and potatoes of this course. It'll give you a course overview and introduction to this history course. How to communicate online as opposed to etiquette. I think we call it netiquette because you're on the net. What are primary sources and secondary sources? This is something that probably and should have been covered in high school, but if you just need a refresher, primary sources are raw materials, right? Newspapers, letters, diaries, things like that, paintings, music, maps, and I have this. Now I do expect you to read this. Secondary sources are more like textbooks, people that have written about things, journals. So that's a secondary source. So I would expect you to know what a primary source and a secondary source are. I actually have how to read because you're going to do a lot of reading from this book, and I also include other readings, other primary sources that I've copied and put into the course, as opposed to making buy another textbook. So I would advise to read Active Reading Strategies. It'll help you retain some of the information that's needed in that reading that you've been assigned. Now, during the modules, the future modules, there will be assignments where you'll have to write, and I would ask for a Word document that will be uploaded, but it's pretty self-explanatory, on a primary source or sources that I've assigned for that week, or maybe a critical thinking analysis on a secondary source. So I actually do break it down of what I'm looking for when I ask you to write about a primary source, who wrote or created it. Maybe it's a letter from Benjamin Franklin. So who wrote it? Benjamin Franklin. Who is he writing it to? And that can be a little bit tricky because you think he's writing it to somebody, but it may be he's actually writing it for the American people or for the British people. So you don't want to take that at face value. Here I have information on Flipgrid. Flipgrid is an app. It's a video app, or it's a video recording app that you will use to record weekly posts. These weekly posts will basically be over the entire module and what we were talking about. And I'll have a prompt, meaning a question that I'll ask you to use, and then you will use your laptop. You'll go through Canvas, use Canvas, and let's hit that first one. Our first weekly prompt, our weekly post using Flipgrid is very easy. I haven't assigned any readings for you to do, but this Flipgrid video is going to be of yourself introducing yourself to the class, right? In this first post, I'm going to ask you for your name, your hometown, work, if you're comfortable giving that information out for your fellow students to know. Do you have any hobbies? What's your major? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? You would never know. What does that mean? You would never know. You would never know that I skydive on the weekend. Well, I don't, but something along that, or I own a pet snake or something along those lines that someone looking at you would never guess that about yourself. Once you complete that video via Canvas, you can see other people that have posted their videos. Excuse me. And I'd like for you to go ahead and look and meet some of your fellow students and then reply to just one. I want you to reply to a fellow student. And when I say reply, you can mention, oh, I also raise snakes, or I also come from a large family, or whatever the case may be. uh, but only one. And I want you to be specific. I don't want you to say, I liked your video and that's it. I want you to elaborate a bit. So this first week, like I said, not too much pressure, basically rules and regulations, policies, procedures, what you're needing. The first video Flipgrid weekly post is basically a get to know you, and it is for a grade. So this should be your first grade in my course. It should be really easy. It should be an easy A, right? An easy A. So here's what it looks like. The weekly posts via Flipgrid are due by 11:59 Wednesday night, and your reply to a fellow student has to be posted no later by 11:59 p.m. Thursday. So Wednesday, you have to do that weekly analysis or weekly analysis post via Flipgrid, and by Thursday at 11:59, you had to have replied to a fellow student. And it breaks it down in each module. So this first week, be sure to introduce yourself via Flipgrid by Wednesday night, and be sure to reply to a fellow student by Thursday night. Easy way to remember it. And I actually have it up and running. I have a little who I am, my name, my hometown, I think, in there. And then you would record, you need to record your response and then reply to a fellow student. Let's go back to the modules. So this first module, so it's going to end Thursday night when you've replied to a fellow student by then. Module 2 will be the second week, August 28th, which is a Friday, through September 3rd, which is a Thursday. This is where we actually get down to it. This is where you really need your book. I apologize if you, especially those students that are coming in right before the class started with this new curriculum. But we don't use the book the first week. I know the letter or the announcement mentions that, but that's for my face-to-face courses. But here on week 2, module 2, I'll have a video introduction for that week, just like I'm doing for this module, module 1. And it'll go into a little bit more detail of what that module is all about. So I won't really go into it, but you can see I have a part A and a part B, just like module 1. I have required readings that you need to do. That little blue book, chapter 3, the entire chapter needs to be read. And then I have a PDF, which is which are sources that I've put in there, so you don't have to buy the book, that you can just click on and you can read. And you can play with this beforehand. So if you want to start the readings early, that's up to you. And like I said, I'll go into more detail when this module 2 goes live next Friday, August the 28th. But part A, there's the readings. There'll be a reading quiz, a multiple choice online. It's timed. And then I also have video lectures that I've created for you to look at or to view. They possibly take a couple of notes. And here's one of those primary source assignments, which will pop up, which is due September 1st. And then we have part B. The quiz, by the way, is off of these readings. Of quiz A, so you know it's off of the readings under A. Here's part B. Once again, readings, another quiz, quiz B of this module, which is basically off of these readings. Here's a video lecture, another video lecture, and here's one of those weekly posts. Once again, this one will be not who you are. It won't be as easy as that first weekly Flipgrid, but it'll be regarding the entire module. And like I said, I'll go ahead and by Friday, when this module opens up, I'll have another video introduction, which I'll go into more detail. So that's it. This is an online course, 8 weeks. I look forward to it. I find that I have a lot of responsible adults here that they're possibly working or taking care of families, and they can't meet at certain days and times. And I appreciate that you're still making the effort to get your education and still making the effort to be a part of academia. So I'm very excited about this. I know we live during interesting times, right? I believe that's about it. Have a great rest of your summer. I know there's a couple of days And this will open up officially on Monday, I believe about 10 o'clock in the morning. But basically, like I said, it's just a lot of reading, looking over, and then doing your post one, which is basically an introduction to yourself and replying to a fellow student. That's it. One last thing before I let you go, Flipgrid. If you're going to do your videos on a phone or iPad or Android, you do need to have the app installed, but do not create an account. When you do your Flipgrid videos, you're going to first come into Canvas, either on your phone or on your laptop, and you're going to enter Flipgrid using, here, I'm pointing to the screen. I have my cursor. You're going to enter Flipgrid through Canvas, and that's how I can grade it. All right. I've probably used up too much of your time. I appreciate, once again, all of you being part of this course, and have a great weekend. And I believe I'm moving my stuff around. I apologize. That is about it. See ya.